Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about, will we see Morgan Jones return to The Walking Dead in Season 5? Alright, great. So this was another viewer requested topic. People wanted to hear my thoughts on whether or not I think we're going to see Morgan return in The Walking Dead Season 5. So nothing official yet. Scott Gimple hasn't said anything about it this year. Last year at Comic-Con, he was quoted as saying that he was going to return in Season 4. Was not correct. That was not accurate. It was all over the internet, but you know how these things go. Sometimes someone can do an interview and he may say something like, well, we will see him return in the series at some point, and then someone else will take that and run with it and say, oh, it'll be Season 4 or something along those lines, and then another site will take it, and before long that message becomes, yeah, we're going to see him in Season 4. So that was not the case. We didn't see him in Season 4. We saw him in Season 3 in Clear, which was one of my favorite episodes of all time for The Walking Dead. We'll have to do my top 5 or top 10 favorite episodes overall. I'll probably do top 10 up until this point, the beginning of Season 5, end of Season 4. So, but besides that, we haven't seen him back since, and wanted to give my thoughts on when I think logically we could see him back. So, Lenny James, the actor who plays Morgan, every time I do this and consider when we're going to see him again, I check out what Lenny James is up to. He was working on Low Winter Sun. Show got canceled. So, sorry for anyone who likes Low Winter Sun, but personally, I was not a big fan of it, so excellent that it got canceled. Now, going from there, he's had a couple other things he's been working on. He was filming. I believe he's done both of those. They're in post-production, a quick TV movie, I think, and another TV show. And it appears right now he's working on a show called Critical, in which he's the lead cast character. So he's the lead of Critical. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can read about it, so you can get an idea of the series, what it's about. It's basically a UK series on Sky One HD, and yes, and right at the beginning of the description, the write-up, it says Lenny James will lead an ensemble playing, and then it goes from there, give you the description. But in terms of our purposes and the purposes of this video, what that means to us is that he's working on something already. So will he finish that before the next season of The Walking Dead starts? How is that going to work? It says it's Critical is a 13-part series set. So does that mean it's only one season? What does that mean for us? It's hard to say. We could only speculate at this time. Personally, I would like to see Morgan return, just like he does in the comic book series, as a series regular character. So meaning he's a part of Rick's group, he's with Rick, and they're surviving in the zombie apocalypse together. But that would mean, of course, that Lenny James would have to dedicate himself 100% to The Walking Dead, and they'd have to pay him, right? They'd have to pay him quite a bit, because he is a big TV actor. He's one of those actors for TV shows that, like with this show Critical, he's the lead actor. He's Rick for Critical, right? So, and many others as well too. Low Winter Sun, he was the lead. So, he's probably expensive, I would tend to think. So when they do eventually bring him in, and I hope they do at some point in time, I'm sure he's going to at least come back for an episode or two. But I can't wait to see him come back as like a full character that's in the show permanently, or at least for a few seasons, that type of thing. If he's killed off or whatever they do with him, that's eventually what I want to see happen. In the comic books, that occurs around this time when Rick and Abraham and the others head towards Washington on this bogus mission. They stop at Kings County in order to get supplies. And a lot of it occurs just like Clear. Basically that we find out what happened to Dwayne, things like that. And then in the end, Morgan decides to join up with Rick's group, which of course was different from what we saw in Clear. Now, so that said, even though he's working on this other series, Lenny James is working on Critical, I don't think that means, because I think he was working on other series too when he was in the first season and in the third season, because he just did like an episode of each, right? It wasn't like he was in the show all the time, which eventually is what I'd like to see, but I don't know if it's going to work because of the cost of Lenny James, and he's got other options. Like he can go and work on this show for 13 episodes. I'm sure they'd pay him a lot more for 13 episodes than just one episode of The Walking Dead. So hopefully, eventually he'll get freed up to the point where the production people, the producers involved with The Walking Dead say, okay, we need to get him in here. He's going to be a mainstay character. He's going to be one of our main lead characters in The Walking Dead. And that's what they would do. Do I think that's going to happen in season 5? No, I don't think so. I wish it would, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, could we see him similar to what we saw in Clear and the others? It makes perfect sense that we would, because in the storyline of the comic book series, that's where they go. They go there on their way to Washington. So that should occur at some point in season 5. That point in equivalent timeline of the TV series versus the comic book series, it would probably be in the second half of season 5. So I think that's the most likely situation, is if they're going to go based on the comic book storyline, we should see him late season 5. He wasn't in season 4, okay? He was, of course, at the end of season 3. So based on the skip of, he wasn't in season 2, wasn't in season 1, so he missed a season on a season, missed a season on a season. So hopefully that is what happens here, and we get to see at least a stop by with him in season 5. But because, here's the thing I'm thinking, because we got that in Clear, it almost to me seems like what would they do? They stop there and then ask for more supplies, and then he would give it to him, and then they leave again. It'd feel a little weird. It'd feel a little bit like we kind of already did that. We already kind of covered that. So I don't know how they would work that in, how they would do that, and have it not be similar to Clear in any way. That said, it might be more likely the next time we see Morgan, he would be coming in as a permanent character. So if that's the case, I think it's too early for that. I think it's too early for them to bring him in as a permanent mainstay character. I wish they would, but I don't think they're going to do it now. It just seems like there's so many characters already, and the budget and everything. I don't think they'd want to add Lenny James on right now. Probably season 6, season 7 if we see that. So what I'm saying is I really hope we see him return for season 5, even if it's just for an episode or two. But I don't think they're going to do it, because I think it'd be too much like Clear, and it wouldn't really make sense. So I'm thinking probably for season 5. Unfortunately, I'm going to make a prediction. I don't think we're going to see him again. I hope we do. I wish we would, but just based on those criteria, based on the fact that he's working on other stuff, I think the odds are kind of low. Even though we didn't see him season 4, I personally don't think we're going to see him season 5 afterwards. But season 6 or 7, I think he's going to come back in as a main character and join up with Rick's group and be the way he was in the comic books, which is what I eventually want to see from him if he's not busy working on other projects, which right now he is, right? And filming is going to begin on The Walking Dead fairly soon. So unless the timing is just like perfect, it's probably not going to happen. But those are kind of my thoughts on it. Whether or not we'll see Morgan, I wish we would, but I'm predicting I just don't think it's going to work out. And even if we do, it'll probably be for a short period of time. And I don't know if they want to do that, because it'd be just like Clear. So hopefully, eventually he'll come back in as a full main character, not just for one episode, but permanently for at least a couple seasons. And we'll get to know a little bit more about Morgan. We'll get to see him deal with situations as a part of the group, as a part of Rick's group, because that to me would be extremely exciting. Just from what we've seen from him so far, the type of character he is, and just to see how he would handle, others like the people at Terminus and all these things, and just how crazy he is and everything. Oh man, he's one of my favorite characters in all The Walking Dead, even though he's hardly ever there, which is strange. One of my favorite characters, only in 2 episodes. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's how good of an actor Lenny James is. That's how good of the writing was in Clear and in the first episode. Love the character, man. Can't wait to see what's going on with him. Hopefully season 5, but I'm doubting it. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any information, you want to do some logic, you want to put some logic out here and say what you think and do your own prediction whether or not you think we'll see Morgan, let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it, and when we think it's going to happen, and what we think is going to happen, how they're going to handle Morgan when he eventually does come back, because he will. Just, I'm not sure if it's going to be season 5 or not. I wish. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. As always, saying peace, guys.